Testing, testing. Had a few audio issues this morning. A little soft. See, see, turn up the mic. Okay, check that. It seems better, better. A little bit, tiny bit. Good morning, my wonderful friends. How is everybody doing today? Well, as usual, up before the sunrise. Hard at work, getting things situated and getting things done. Where to begin? This week has been a life changing week. Last week I got diagnosed with diabetes. This week I've tried to adjust. I've bought groceries that I've read over all kinds of articles and talked to doctors and my wellness coach and find out what's the best things to eat that won't spike my blood sugar. So, because originally how I was diagnosed, I had a real incredible thirst and fatigued. And I asked the doctor about it. He says, "You got to go to the bathroom a lot?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, let me get your A1C and get your glucose level checked." I said, "Can we check my liver and my kidneys and all that kind of stuff?" He said, "Yeah." Great doctor, Dr. Mullins. And he went through, and I went downstairs. I had a Mountain Dew before I took my test. Big no no, big no no. But I didn't know what's going on, and my head was a little bit cloudy. So I go in there, and the nice young lady, the lab technician, she takes my blood. I know her. She always takes my blood. She's great. And got out of there, went home, took a nap for about a half hour, 45 minutes, hour, and felt a little bit better. And turned back around from there. My test results came in, and my salt was low, and I think my potassium was low, but the big thing was my glucose was 480. And I was like, all right, what does that mean? I don't know. So I took a bunch of pictures of it. I sent it to my parents out of the portal, and I took a bunch of those pictures and I sent them to my psychiatrist. And wrote a little notes that I had the blood work done. This is what's going on, that kind of thing. And within 15, 20 minutes, my psychiatrist, the great guy he is, Larry Roberts, great guy, had picked up the phone, called me up. Eldon, do you see what these readings are? He says your glucose is 480. He says that's dangerous. That is way, way dangerous. Are you okay? And I told him the story about eating too much sugar before I went in to get my blood work. He said, "That's really dangerous." And he says, "What does your doctor say?" I said, "I haven't heard from him." He says, "Let me order A1C." Well, the A1C wasn't released yet into the portal, or I didn't find it going through everything, and I didn't make a picture of it. So he said, "We'll do this." And he said, "Take care of yourself. You start feeling bad." Told me some things to watch out for. He said, "Go to the emergency room." I was like, "All right." I said, "I'm going to take it easy." All right. So he said, "Let me know what those results are." Okay. And a couple hours later, I get another phone call. "Emergency, emergency, go to the emergency room right now, Eldon. Do not stop. Do not pass go. Go straight to the emergency room." I'm like, "Why?" Which I've talked to my psychiatrist, my doctor, I got these. Mom says anything below 400 is you can get into a coma, a diabetic coma. My dad was real worried. They had me on conference call. They were lighting me up and said, Eldon, you got to go to the emergency room. I said, I don't want to go. I don't feel like it. You know, it's the prime time where you should go to the emergency room and you should listen to your parents. And I talked him out of it. I said, I'm going to go in the morning. I told him the story about eating too much sugar. I kind of waned them off just a little bit. They were still red alert. I love my parents. They're great. And turned back around from there. Told them good night. And I got up the next morning and talked to the lab technician, got my blood work because the psychiatrist sent an email and I printed out the labs and took him in there to Holzer. And the lady was like, I said, I'm here because she said, you already had your A1C. I was like, I didn't see it. She said, it's there. She said, oh, it was very high, very high. And I told her that I drank a Mountain Dew before the test and I'd been eating some sugar. She said, that was very high. She said, I'll take your fasting overnight because I was fasting by that time and take the overnight. I said, bingo. So I took it and that kind of thing. Sent it to the doctors, and the doctor wrote a note. We're really concerned about you, da 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 da, in the portal. When I called in the next day, it says, we're concerned about this. We've sent some medications over to you, and that kind of thing. And the young lady was supposed to check a box, and she didn't, and the meds didn't get released. I call in the next day. This is Thursday. I was like, hey, I call my, I send the, I couldn't get the report on my blood sugar or anything else because they wouldn't release it either. And turned back around from there. Uh, my I called back in there. I was on stream. I was like, I got a call. So I call in there. It says, oh, it's been a mistake. We're sorry. Now that you've checked, because I went through the portal and checked everything out and got pictures of the A1C and sent it to my psychiatrist and my parents and found everything they were talking about. And basically from there, they said, we'll release the meds. I said, it's almost the weekend. I don't want to go to the emergency room for this. She says, oh, we're getting taken care of. So, and we want to make an appointment. So made an appointment for Monday, that kind of thing. My doctor was kind of asking me some general questions, but he let me ask all the questions. What's this, what that, and that kind of thing. And uh, he really didn't narrow in on any of the good stuff. So the next day, I was taking my meds by this time and everything else. By that Thursday afternoon, I had my meds and I was taking my meds. Metformin. So I go see my psychiatrist. This last Tuesday, I seen the doctor Monday. This last Tuesday, I seen my psychiatrist, and he explained it all to me, this kind of thing. He said, we'll get you a health coach if you want it. He called the guy up. He was in-house. Talked to the guy on conference call, everything else, got it situated. He said he'd call me later that day. My psychiatrist says, we're going to increase this metformin up. You take me readings for a week, and we're going to increase it. And turned back around from there. I said, okay, boss. And I said, all right. And the guy called me up and explained diabetes and what it was and how it affected your body and that kind of thing. And he was out for 2 weeks. And so I was just taking notes and doing my kind of thing. And one amongst our way, and I got a hold of my parents, told them I was taking the meds. That the overnight the glucose level was 381. When I took it from fasting from Monday night till Tuesday morning, it dropped to 381, below 400. Mom said, that's still awfully high, Eldon. So my mom's got a little medical background training. My dad's been around family members and in tune, in touch with them on people with diabetes and stuff like that. But I have been really nervous a couple streams. I felt kind of a little weird and fidgety and my head kind of circling around my brain and that kind of thing. And I got worried, I got afraid, that kind of thing. Nobody wants to get sick and die or nothing else or anything like that. I'm 50. I'm hoping I get some more time. And unfortunately, one of my doctors said we don't usually tell patients this or tell people this. Um, but because of all the psychiatric medications, I'm bipolar, I got GAD, and I got PTSD, and a couple other I keep tucked away. And basically, from there, he says all these medications affect your thyroid, affect your hormones, affect your organs. Hard on your these meds are hard on your organs and stuff like that. You have a shortened lifespan. You've chosen quality of life, keep good cognitive abilities over, lifespan. So I said, oh, I'll let that soak in and that kind of thing. So I've been sitting with that monster on my shoulder, kind of gnawing away. And I don't think too many of my plans have changed from what they were, being just, what my mental health was and figuring out what I was going to do with my life in the next 10, 15 years. And turn back around from there. I've kind of stuck with that same thought process. Write a book on how I survived the mental health system in America, and stream and hang out with you guys, do charity work, and do stuff like that, and just enjoy life. Streaming, I get such a great enjoyment at streaming. The Bachelor cooking we're doing today, the game night with family and friends with my brother-in-law James co-host, and on Thursday nights, not this coming Thursday, but typically every Thursday now, and the kids jumping in and out, saying hi and that kind of thing. So I really enjoy all that. And then hanging out with you good guys, people from Australia, people from, Sweden, Norway, people from all over the world. I want to say hello, good morning. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. You're awesome, wonderful people. We all try our best. We all make mistakes. We're all human beings, and we're going to do the best we can. So that's kind of my thing that I'm moving forward from here and that kind of thing. So it's been a very, very up and down, heart wrenching week, let alone, my medical, physical manifestations of diabetes and things I got to watch out for, and I can't get my glucose too high. And so I've been really working it, trying to keep everything where it should be. Without more medication, they're probably going to give me more medication. And so I'm tapering my food and what I eat and stuff like that, the quantities down, so I don't get sick. So I don't want to get that high glucose levels or anything else, and scare the hell out of me. So that's what I'm trying to do. So Bachelor Cooking is this year turned into just a couple shows a month because of finances and health issues. But it already went healthy, and I'm going to take it to the next level, diabetic safe, kind of healthy kind of thing, diabetic foods. So I'm going to learn more about it as I learn, as I go. I'm going to educate and inform and do stuff like that. Live by example. I think my chicken broth's a little too calorie intake, and I got a few things that are kind of iffy this morning. I just took my glucose reading, one of my fingers so isn't bleeding, and that it goes away really quick. And turn back around from there. It was 188, so I got room, but I can't overindulge until I find out what this food we're going to make this morning, how it affects me. And this food was chosen before I knew I was diabetic. So we're going to see what goes on. We're going to see what happens here. And we're going to wish the best. Before we get too much farther into yapping, we got 20 minutes of yapping to do. We're going to prep some chicken. We got the meal calls for chicken sandwiches, peach chicken sandwiches, and the chicken dumplings. So what I got here is some frozen. When I went to the store, I got a bunch of proteins is one big thing they talk about. A little bit of olive oil. No, no. All right. And what I've done here is I got a big pack of chicken breast. And it was $20, 18, $20 a pack. So it was big chicken breast, and they've been pretty good. I've eaten a pack over the last week, keeping it high protein, low on everything else. And what you do is you take parchment paper when you get it from the store, you get that pack of chicken, and you lay a layer of parchment paper and you separate all the chicken so they're not touching. You put a couple pieces down, you put another layer over the top of parchment paper and put some chicken on there, and you put it in the freezer without anything else, just the pan, and you may have to use a smaller pan than one of these, is what I had to do one time. And basically from there, um, you take it back out and you take some cling wrap and you wrap them individually with cling wrap, and that'll help you out. A little bit more cost effective than putting all those in Ziploc bags, and put them in a Ziploc bag, the one big one. Spread those out. And then you put them back in the freezer and you get them out one at a time until you need them, kind of like that. Now, I've been eating a lot of meals with one chicken breast. These are pretty big chicken breast. And I've been making sandwiches, some chicken sandwiches, and just plain chicken with, I put some Himalaya salt on them, and I put a little bit of cracked pepper, crank out some pepper out of my pepper grinder, and bake them up. I've been doing 25, 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. They're big chicken breast. And the stove's at 400. I want to put this in here. Now, those are bigger than what they thought. I'm going to put those in there for 30 minutes. All right. I got my thermometer. Check those temps. 165. Check those temps. So I wanted to get those in there because it's going to take a half hour. And we got to prep. It shouldn't be that long of a show this morning. Still recovering. I'm still in a tailspin, but I'm starting to get my flight pattern under control here. Basically, taking it out of that tailspin. I made decisions. I went to the store. I read a whole bunch before I read the store what I could eat for type 2 diabetes. Chicken breast. I've gotten a lot of fish. I got like 8 or 10 pounds of fish in there. And I got, I don't know, 15 or 20 pounds of chicken breast. And I got some pork tenderloins, some cut pork tenderloins for next weekend. And really did it up with stuffed yogurt. I had some Chobani yogurt this morning at 1 a.m. with some blueberries. And my blood sugar is 152. And this it was low fat, low sugar Chobani vanilla and cinnamon yogurt. Always the best yogurt I've ever had. It was just miraculous. And I put a good thing of not strawberries, but blueberries in the bottom of it. They were frozen. I stuck them in the microwave for a minute, get them a little softened up. Slapped some of that yogurt on top of it. Ate it. My blood sugar only went up to like 178, 182. So it was a great breakfast. I had a couple pecans or pistachios this morning and kind of something to munch on here late this morning. And I had an avocado. So I'm eating all these healthy foods and good, healthy, happy foods. And I'm feeling better. I'm actually feeling a lot better. So that kind of put an inspiration, foundation. I got a foundation, good food, healthy food, and it's safe. Now at the beginning, I got a glucose meter from Amazon and everything else, and I've been pricking my fingers before. I've been doing the chart that's in there and what my doctors want before and after meals. When I get up in the morning, when I go to bed, my little fingers has been pricked and poked and prodded and smashed. But I've gotten the readings for the last 3 days and making progress. So they look all right. I'm doing all right. When I had guacamole and Triscuits for a kind of a treat away from chicken, it shot up to 320. So I know guacamole is a no-no. So it said in the documentation that it was all right, that all the stuff from the CDC and the Association of Diabetes and all these people, the official people that I read, and they said guacamole was all right. Somebody made a boo-boo. Either in the guacamole they put stuff that was extra in my version of it, or somebody put it in the wrong column. But I made it through it. I ate it again after my blood sugar got down to 200. I ate it again. It got back up to 300. So I really know it's a guacamole. The Triscuits, they're not the best in the world, but they're supposed to be all right. So I just kind of experiment and kind of go through and figure out things as I live, living life. Can't be afraid to live. So I've taken action. It's that kind of thing. I've gotten a hold of my doctors. I got a plan with my doctors. My medical doctor, if I have any questions, he wants me to send him the report on what my blood sugar is. And I'm taking all the before and after meals and the times and all these kind of things. And going through all that for him. I'm also going to send it to my health coach, and I'm going to send it to my psychiatrist. My psychiatrist has really stepped in, and he's going to take over doing the adjustments for the uh, metformin. So that's the diabetic medicine. So it is what it is. So it's a lot to take in. And then what everybody tells me, I got to filter out, well, that's works for me, that doesn't work for me. How can I get that to work for me? What do I got to change? I got a whole lifestyle change here. I'm eating 3 meals a day instead of just two. That's one. I'm eating a lot more protein instead of just breads and stuff like that, the other stuff. So that's a big change. And just, staying healthy. When I get the munchies, I can't go off and just go munch on, a sandwich or something. I got to think about it. And I got to take my glucose readings. This is the big thing before I eat dinner. And if it's too high, I got to change what I got to eat. So before I'd plan, I take chicken out of the, let's say chicken, I take it out of the freezer and stick it in the refrigerator. Chicken's all right to have, but let's say it's something else, something pizza. I'm going to have pizza. Well, now, then let's say tonight I want to have pizza. My glucose is 300. Well, I know that my glucose is going to go through the roof if I eat a pizza. So I can't have that pizza tonight. So what I got to do is defrost a chicken breast or something like that, or eat. Fish is frozen. I can throw fish frozen straight in the oven and cooks up one serving of fish. And that's the other thing is a serving. I got to watch my portion sizes. Before I'd eat, you know, and turn back around from there. That is very bad. That really spikes up the glucose and everything else because you got all that extra food your body doesn't need. So you got to eat what you need and got to eat what your body's able to handle at that time. So if your glucose is high, you got to watch it. But if your glucose is low, you can indulge a little bit here and there. You can say, well, I want to have that cheese, extra cheese on my pizza. So you can only have a couple slices, three. Well, my pizza, 3 or 4 slices. You know, 'cause they're not that big. They're only about that big. So homemade pizza. So it is what it is. I didn't get none this month because I thought the white bread, according to everything, would cause me to have high sugar levels. So I didn't get it. So I try to get yogurt and stuff like that I can have instead of for a light meal, that kind of thing, for those times when my glucose is too high. So there's a lot of things. It's a dynamic and industrial being, to run you over situation, and you got to keep control of it. It's because my pancreas isn't controlling the insulin that goes out when, your body. This is what my health coach told me. When you got high sugar levels, let's say you eat something, a pizza, and you got a whole bunch of sugar floating around in your body. Well, your pancreas goes out and says, "Oh, your sugar is way too high. Let's send insulin out and send that to the muscles and stuff." So it sends it out to the muscles and everything else. And so when you need it, you got energy and you're able to rock and roll. So what's happened is my pancreas is hurt. So it's causing me, it's not producing the insulin that I need to take care of the sugars that are in my body. Now, like I said yesterday, if you listen to the show, I think way back in the day when in 2008, I got released from the hospital, OSU, and I was traumatized. I was manic, and they hit me over the head with a sledgehammer to calm me down. And all those meds and everything else, my psychiatrist that I went to added more because once I started getting tuned up, I started getting real, just totally agitated and worked up. So he kept putting more on me until I calmed down. Well, he over medicated me. So, my lithium levels were up and everything else, and my risperidone. And what he did was instead of reducing the lithium and finding what worked for me, he gave me my thyroid stopped working right because my lithium was too high, and which lithium and risperidone produces high blood sugars, causes you to have high glucose. So my uh, psychological meds make me have high blood sugar. So then my thyroid got hit in the head, and he started giving me meds for my thyroid instead of dealing with the root problem. My lithium was too high. So that went on after he was convicted of murder. Alice Salim, Columbus, Ohio. You can look it up. Psychiatrist, murderer. 10 TV, a local TV channel that's been around since before I was a kid, has got news articles and a little footage of everything else of him being incarcerated for murder of a woman and her unborn baby. So it was a double homicide. He injected heroin in her. So turned back a really horrible, horrible guy. He had my meds all messed up. So that went on. He went to prison. I went to other psychiatrists and doctors, and they just rubber stamped his orders right on out the door. Over and over again, they just rubber stamped them. So I kept having to have thyroid medications. My lithium was high, my glucose was high, and I had all this damage being done to my body. So finally, about 4 years ago, my the doctor just before my current psychiatrist said, You're way too high. We're getting you all off for this stuff, and we're putting you on this for your antidepressant because you're depressed, and we'll get you off all this other stuff." And they slowly, she ended up moving on, whatever the reason. And Larry Roberts is a great doctor, great nurse practitioner. He's a great guy. He cares about me, which makes him a great guy to me. And he started just slowly. We started peeling off some of the other meds, and I'm down to two psych meds from like six or eight. So I'm down to lithium and risperidone. Are my two psych meds. I'm also on provostatin for my cholesterol, which is hard on my liver. I'm on met metformin, which is for my diabetes now. I'm on a pretty high dose of it. Or he said it's a low dose. Larry said that was doctor. The doctor said it was a low dose. He's gonna up it here in a few days. Then I'm on a Duoned for my COPD, my lung breathing. So put that mask on me, get the goop in there, and it aerates it, and I breathe it in, and I can breathe better. It really works. And I think it was asbestos and smoking, work related, and then smoking has been really hard on me. So we got that. So then we got amlodipine, which is for my heart. My medical doctor put me on that. My high blood pressure, so he put me on amlodipine. And is there anything else? No, I think that's it. Oh, a nasal spray. Isopropium. It's just bromide. Risperidone. See, this is taking a medication to treat the side effects of another medication. My risperidone, my antipsychotic, because my bipolar was so bad, or is so bad. It's not doing too bad right now. And basically from there, makes my nose just run like a river all the time. And when I'm not on it, I've been on stream before and I'm sniffling all the time, and it drives me. It sounds horrible, disgusting, and it just you do that through the whole show, and nobody would like. Ugh, that is so grody. So I hate doing it. So the doctor, my pulmonologist, got me that, and it works very good. So that's what's going on with that. So what is that? 6 or 7 meds, but it's not the whole freaking kit and caboodle that I used to have for my psychiatric medication. I used to be on a bunch of it. So I'm very happy. But all that lithium and that risperidone has caused my thyroid, which it's down now, so I'm off the thyroid medication. Finally, a couple of years ago I got off of it. I had to talk to my medical doctor. I had to twist his arm upside down. Say, hey, look, they had me on too much lithium. Take me off of this stuff. I don't know. I did. And he checked my thyroid every time I saw him. He checked my thyroid. He was a good doctor, different than the one I have now. And basically from there, uh, so that was that. Then when they put me on high blood pressure back in December of 23, November, my blood pressure was real high. I was getting red with a neighbor and stuff like that, and my blood pressure was through the roof. Well, my good doctor, Dr. Mullins, said, we'll put you on this and the amlodipine, and we'll put you on a beta blocker. You ever been on a? No, I don't know. Okay. So put me on it. Pharmacy says this will raise your lithium levels. And I was like, well, he wouldn't give it to me if it was going to hurt me that bad. So I'll just have to work with my psychiatrist and check on my lithium levels. Well, in about 2.5, 3 weeks after I started taking it, my lithium levels, and I was on stream, I'm always working, my lithium levels got to 2.3. Therapeutic ranges on lithium is zero point 0.6 to 1.2. And I'm the kind of guy that my metabolism, if it goes above 0.75, zero point 0.8, it goes above that, I really doesn't do me. It really, a lot of side effects happen. And I really start not feeling well. So it was way too high. So I finally, one morning I said, I'm gonna go to the hospital. That afternoon, I called an ambulance and crawled in the ambulance, and they took me over to the hospital. And I told the doctor, I said, lithium, lithium, lithium. And he was like, did a whole bunch of other tests. We can't find nothing. I said, there is something very wrong with me. Please. So he said, finally, he said, oh, we got it back from your lithium levels back, and turned back around from there. We had to call poison control. Everybody's different. Well, 2.3 is way too high. It's like death levels too. So they stuck me in the hospital for 3 days, pumped me full of IVs and whatever else they pumped me full of, took my blood every 2 hours, and patted me on the ass and sent me home. And about 2 weeks later, I did this construction, the new floors. All these are all new floors, the new plumbing all under the house and under the sink, and these new cabinets. All these are new cabinets. New shower. The bathroom is not the most expensive thing in the world, but I got a new toilet, a cheap vanity, and I got a cheap shower. It works, and that kind of thing. What's what I could afford? It was like 14, $15,000. So that was like cha-ching, and that was like a big chunk of change out of me. But back to the story of me, how I felt. I felt during that whole project like somebody was pulling the muscles off my body. I couldn't stretch, I couldn't move, I was lethargic. I just felt completely and utterly miserable. Hard to think. I was very thirsty, and uh, so we made it through the project. I think May or June we got out of it last year, and I told Chad, I said, I'm gonna. All my doctors want to see me at the beginning of the year, and I'm going to get down to why I'm not feeling good. So I'm going to do some health checks, get to the bottom of some of this, and that kind of thing. So all these checks and everything else found that I had diabetes, and I think with all that lithium too much and the risperidone causing just inundated my biosphere, me, just really shook up my pancreas. That's my theory. I really, really do think that's what caused a lot of it. Now, I haven't been the most healthiest eater, and I did in my 20s, after my divorce, I did party quite a bit until I was 33. So, about 24 to 33, I howled at the moon every chance I got. And it was one of those things. Well, until 32, 31, 32. So, it was one of those things. So, I did not take the best care of myself. But this is where we're at. So this now I have COPD with the onset of asbestos or something like that. They've kind of changed their tune on that. Back to what I originally told them. Um, I got calcification around my arteries, my heart, and I am diabetic. I'm bipolar. I have general anxiety disorder, and I have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from numerous situations. It wasn't just one. One triggered another, and I was on kind of just and just hell ride there because I was, in bad situations, creating bad situations, and I was in a work environment that was toxic, really, really toxic, and they put me in the hospital because I was doing so bad. So, that's my theory about all of it. It's been rough. So I think that, those are the things that caused me to be where I'm at. So I know how I got here. Now, where am I going to go from here? Like I said, I'm going to write my book. With being diabetic, you could lose partial vision and stuff like that if you're not in control of your diabetes. So I got a limited time to write one book, one self-help book. So I might be able to do a little tinkering or something with the science fiction, but I don't know. We'll have to see. So that's what I do. Want to do on a stream, and I just want to enjoy life. I want to read some books, and I want to watch some movies. I want to hang out with my family, my kid sister and them, my parents, and all that kind of stuff. And I like to see my brother Eli and his family again, and see if we make amends through there somewhere or something, or see where his head's at. But we'll have to see how that one goes. That one's still pretty toxic. I'm just sad on that one, very sad. So, we'll have to see how that goes. But my sister, I'm putting full effort. I'm biting my tongue when I'm wrong, when I'm right. I say I'm wrong, and I love my sister, and my brother-in-law, and the kids. I do everything I can for them. I did everything for my brother Eli's and Ashley's. They're Landon. I bought him. He got an electric guitar, a Stratocaster, my old purple Stratocaster, brand new practically. Got a whole bunch of comic books. Got video games. Got an Xbox. I mean, I've treated my nieces and nephews like kings and queens to try to help them out and do better and kind of open up the doors where mom and dad says, maybe you shouldn't play Halo. I said, Halo is the greatest game ever. It's awesome. Then there's Destiny. Destiny's better. But Halo is a good game. Oh, I've been reading up on it. And he might be able to play those. This is Landon when I gave him all the Halo games. So on Xbox 360, it's been a few years ago. I gave him my old Xbox 360, my Star Wars edition. So I've done what I could. So he started learning guitar lessons and all that kind of stuff, and growing like a weed. Super smart guy, thinking for himself. Uh, and he loves his parents, and I'm glad to see it. So, and my brother and sister-in-law love their children. Something fierce. A little Reese Reese has got cerebral palsy. She's partially blind. She's got the mental capacity of about a fifth, 5-year-old, 4-year-old. She can sing songs, Jesus songs that Ashley teaches her, Jesus songs. Other than that, she can communicate a little bit. So she's precious, God's gift. I told my brother that. I said, you'd be out and about running around like a fool like I was if you didn't have little Reese Reese to keep you grounded. I said, she's been a blessing to you if you understand it or not. Yes, she has been, Eldon. So my brother understands. So me jumping out of airplanes, raising all kinds of hell, howling at the moon, living life at the fullest, doing my thing. So, he was a little contemptuous, if that's a word. I think that's a word. I make him up sometimes. And basically, I wish them the best. God bless them. They're good people. They really are good people. They're just on a different road in life than the rest of the family. They were going this way and we were going this way. So everybody's got to travel their own road. So we'll put it in God's hands and see how it goes from there. So other than that, so that's been my big fight, and I'm still fighting it. I'm still getting a handle on it. Like I said, I'll get in touch with my psychiatrist here coming up in a few days. I'll write him a big report on all these readings that I've taken. I don't know, should I put it in an Excel spreadsheet? He might not have Excel. I could take a snapshot of it and send it. I have to see. And turn back around from there. Send it to my medical doctor. And send it to my parents. Send it to the health coach. So those are my foundational legs. My sister, I can send it to my sister. She doesn't have a whole lot of time, but I can send it to her. She could read over it pretty quick. She's a smart lass. So other than that, that has been life, guys. It has been a hell of a couple weeks. I always got a story for you. As one of the chatters from Britain, her and Adam Gothbusters, who said, "You have lived in a very adventurous life." And I have lived an adventurous life. And I want to thank them for the uh, Jamaican jerk chicken. That was the most popular Bachelor cooking Sunday recipes I've had. I set off the smoke detector. She was in chat. She says, What's going on? What happened? Are you okay?" And Dan's like, "He just set off the smoke detector." And right out the back door, I got the grill set up so the grill was smoking, and the smoke detector for the house hardwired into the house, was went off and that kind of thing. So it was an adventure. So it's all on YouTube. Check it out on YouTube. Jamaican jerk chicken. So doing the best we can. Just that's all I'm trying to do. Live a good life. Live a Christian life. A good Christian life with purpose. Got to have purpose. I've told you my purpose. Help people. Help people. Make it a safe place. A good community here for everybody. Making it a safe place. A happy place. And help people through my self-help book that I'm working on. It's actually being worked on, and help my siblings and do what I can just to be Eldo, just Mr. Helpful. Try to do good deeds. Try to pass on smiles and joy during the day. Try to be kind to other people. And I do have a fiery temper, and I am judgmental as hell. So I try to curb those habits that are a curse to my character. So I try to do the best I can. So 38 seconds. I have yapped the yappity yap yap yap. Feels hurt my belly again. All right, let's see what we got. We're gonna leave the oven on. I cooked chicken last night, and it was not done on one part of it. Ooh. So you put that little bit of oil in there. It does a lot of good. That oil is actually very tasty oil, but do your own judgment on what you put it on. I like putting a little bit on the chicken. This one should be done. 190. We're not done. That one's done. I'll put that in there for another 10 minutes. It'll dry it out a little bit, but 8 minutes, 7 minutes, the number of God. I've got goop all over my stuff. God's number, the bungee number. The bungee, since we're all bungee fans. All right. All right. What are we cooking today, Brain? What are we cooking today, Brain? We got this chicken salad and peach sandwich. 4 slices of whole grain bread, half a cup of cooked chicken. That's what we got going on here. Half a cup of canned peach slices drained. Now you can't do it in the syrup for diabetic, so I got the ones where they get the in pear juice, so that should be better. My sister said, Eldon, it still could be very high in sugar, so you got to be careful. So we got to be careful with that. One celery stalk, half a cup of apples, Fuji Gaia, broadburst, one small onion, 1.5 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of chopped walnuts. Mix together chicken, apples, mayonnaise in a small bowl. Spoon mixture onto 2 slices of bread. So let's see if we can get some of that going here. All right. 4 slice whole grain bread. I got over there. 1/2 cooked chicken. Got in the stove. Canned peaches are over here. 1 celery stalk. Gotten on Monday, and it still looks a little rubbery to me. Yes, it is a little rubbery. There's a trick to bring that back to life. I forget what it is. One celery stalk. 1/2 a cup of apples. I got Gaia apples. Good for diabetics. I think they said this has got slow release. It should be 1/2 a cup. One small onion. All we got's big onions. 1/2 tablespoon mayonnaise and chopped walnuts. I'm gonna trip over that wire. Nuts are also good for diabetics. So that's our collage. I got all the windows in the house open. I got fans in the windows. I got all fresh air blowing through the house, and it's like 62 degrees. 62 degrees in the house. My ass is freezing. I don't know what I was thinking. Woke me the hell up, though. I tell you what, woke me the hell up. Woke me the hell up. Two minutes. Get our measurement cups out. I feel alive. Da 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 da. So alive. Nothing like a shock to the brain. You might die to make you appreciate life. Make you appreciate life. Mm. 55 seconds. Cook us some dumplings. It'd be good this morning. Some chicken soup. That'd be good. Kind of nourishing. Like I said, I think my box chicken is high fat, high cholesterol, high sugar. So I'm going to have to be very careful with it. 25 seconds. 15 seconds. Houston, we will have touchdown in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. I am a big space kind of kid. I always loved space when I was growing up. Star Trek, and Farscape, and don't put that in there, catch fire. Stargate. Barely. All right, cooked. It's cooked. Do not eat uncooked chicken. Make you sick. Make you sick. Give you salmonella. Nobody wants a salmonella. Vanilla, vanilla, salmonella. You don't want none of that stuff. All right. Get the knife going. All right. A little rubbery, but juicy. Look at that. I never thought I'd like chicken breast so much, and I have the last 2 weeks. It's kept me alive. Scared little Eldo. Nice and done. No pink. No pink. These are big chicken breasts. I don't know where they got them from, but they got them from freaking the super chicken store. humongous chicken breast. I'm gonna cut up some more chicken. We're gonna put it in something for the. Take a little bite of this. I like it with salt and pepper. All right. There's another little piece getting away. I gotta catch it. All right. That should do it. Let that hang out there for a minute. This is for the dumplings. A little bit big, a little bit, but what to see, they're soft and breaking up. Tasty. All right. All right. Well, let's see what else we got going on. Slide this over here. All right. Still crunchy. So what else have I learned? It is always true that when you're down and out, you'll see the people that come by and kick you, and the people that come by and give you a hug and lift you up. And in your hour of darkness, do not forget who holds the light for you. And take that as a lesson of what it means to hold the light for someone else that is in need, that is suffering. That wire is so in the way. Turn off the stove. That is a lot of onion. That's about all the onion that needs. All right, making progress. We're going to clean this off. Open some stuff up. Try not to trip over any wires. My wires should come today for this camera because it's strung not tight, but it's strung pretty high in the air in the kitchen. All right. Back at it. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. How sweet is not so sweet? Pretty sweet. That wire. I did sharpen these knives. Looks like they weren't in the sharpener long enough. Let's see it. Cup, that'll do it. A few nuts. Notice I haven't measured anything. A little bit of walnut pieces. I do love walnuts. Not as much as blueberries, but I do love some walnuts. Oh, phone dinging. I gotta check it. Ooh, those are perfect. I do have sick people. Keep an eye on them. Send them happy, joyous messages. Actually, doing worse than I am. Much worse. So you gotta keep tabs on them. Spread the love. All right. Those are small ass apples. Small ass apples. All right, on a mission. Mission to make something delicious. Now, what do we got now? Let's read our instructions. I did all that from memory. Helps when you get the stuff out and put it there. All right. They said small bowl. Looks like we need more mayo. Very fruity salad. All right. We'll stick that in the fridge. We'll stick that in the fridge. Let it refrigerate. Been burning up the cling wrap. Still don't know how to get it off there without squinching it all up in a ball and trying to untangle it. I didn't do too bad that time. Looks good. Looks healthy. Healthy, healthy. All right. Let's look and see what we got here. 4 slice whole grain bread. Okay, we got that over on the shelf. Sugar-free whole grain bread. Half cup cooked chicken. A little bit more than that. Half a cup canned peach slices. About that. 1 celery stalk. 1/2 cup of apples. A little bit more than that. 1 small onion. We didn't put all of it in. Half an onion. 1.5 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Okay. Looks like I used some more mayonnaise. 1 tablespoon of chopped walnuts. I say we're done with that one. Another one for the books. I do put those in a file. All right. Now, you can't do that. Heat oil in Dutch oven, soup kettle over medium heat. 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Can we use some other oil? Can we use I got to do some dishes. Did I tell you it was cold in here? I got my glucose machine out this morning. I took it just before the show, like 7:30. I took my glucose reading because I knew I was gonna eat this is my lunch. So, like I said, it was 188. Ow. And the glucose meter wouldn't read because it was too cold in the house. It said ET, external temperature was too cold. I gotta check my phone. Wonder if Lep went live again. He's got a little bit of a dirty brain. I thought he was better than that with kids and the wife and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, maybe it was him just getting tired. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said, oh, he's around Grenadier Jake. And I thought, oh, it was just a bad influence on old Lep. No, Lep leading the crew. Dirty mind. Got kids in the other room, the whole spiel. I mean, daggone. And then I thought he's too tired. He's been streaming all week long, 2 weeks or whatever it's been. Oh, it's just too much for him. He's getting weak in his thought process. Nope, it's just Lep. The real Lep is shining through. Uh-oh. You know Destiny is a PG-13 rated game. Oh well. He's not like it all the time, I suppose. Kate keeps him somewhat organized. Keeps him keeps him out of trouble. What am I cooking? Oh, Grandpa. Bye. Oh, I'm sorry I missed you. I was cooking. I was doing dishes. We're cooking chicken dumplings. We're gonna get into that, and we just made some like a fruit chicken salad, same stuffing or filling for sandwiches. So that's what we're doing there. All right. Let's check my phone. Sorry about that, Zip. I am Grandpa. I can only do two things at once anymore, not 200. They gave me meds for that. They put me on meds. Confirm my appointment. Out for delivery. Itchy eyes. My phone. I don't need a new phone. I need a smarter phone. I need a phone my phone to work the way it was supposed to. Put all this garbage in it. 2 tablespoons. This is what it all started off as. Getting 2 tablespoons. All right. Now what is it saying? 2 cups of carrots, chopped carrots. Carrots you got to be careful with because they can do a lot of sugar. Chop off my finger. That's done 2 cups. But a cup, we got to cut it back. 1 cup of onion, chopped. That one needs 8. I'm having a hard time seeing today, guys. Just the writing in my laptop has been difficult. It was like that yesterday and the day before, too, so. One day I'll learn how to cut an onion. Ask my kid sister to show me. She knows how to cut an onion, I'm sure. One cup of celery. With some leaves, it said. And that's part of diabetes, being hard, having things difficult to see. That's why I've been screeching. I need to get my eyes checked. I need to make that appointment. I stopped by the other day and see how booked up. Usually they're booked up 2 months. He said the end of the month, which I thought was pretty good. We get to do some cooking. I do not have any peppercorns. Do I have time? I have time. Clean up some of my onion mess and celery, apple. That smells nice. Move that wire around. It was going to get caught in the stove. Stove's off, so I can move that back. All right, making progress, guys. Get quiet for a minute there. Get cooking. Thinking, a lot to think about today. Life is complicated. But we're making the best of it. We're going to be all right. We're grandpa, according to my dear friend that always comes in and calls me grandpa. At least he comes in and says hi. Zen. Phone's dinging again. See if that package got here. Man, it is chilly over away from the stove. Berkey's online. Check the front door, no package. It is a horrible design. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. All right. Partially covered. Peppercorns, thyme, and bay leaves. Thyme. 2 bay leaves. How much thyme? 1 teaspoon. Love you. Looks good. Well, thank you. Good morning. Love, Loveful. I'm sorry. I need new glasses. Sorry. How's everybody doing today? Some chicken dumplings is what we're making today. Whole grain style. That's the dumplings, that is. Well, thank you for saying that. Looks good too. 20 minutes. We're making a mess today, guys. All right. Simmer back down to here. All right. Okay. Now we're going to make the dumplings. We're going to do some dishes. You're welcome. We made some chicken sandwich stuff, kind of it's a fruity kind of vegetable mix chicken. It looked good. Got walnuts in it, apples. It's got onion in it, chicken, of course. We're going to taste it out here in a bit. Hot, 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 hot. New wash rag, new dish soap, or new dishwater. Now we're going to make the dumplings. You need a spoon for that. You need a bowl. All right. It's boiling over there for a minute. We'll check back over there in a minute. All right. So what do we got? 1 cup of whole wheat flour and 1 cup of all-purpose. So I can't have all-purpose no more as of this week. So 2 cups. Of whole wheat. Skim milk. How about 2%? One large egg. Egg? How about Eggland's Best? All right, we have the magic egg. Get the towel away from the salmonella. That trash can needs to go out after the show. Making a mess. Looks like it needs some more milk. We're going to put a little bit more in there. All right, still working at it. I suppose we can work with it. 7 minutes. Where are we at? Get that up to simmering. Supposed to be 80 degrees here today. It's going to be beautiful. I already feel it warming up from what it was. Take a break for a minute. That's what I need is a drink of water. See, other than that, just drop dumplings in, cover soup, allow dumplings to cook for 20 minutes. They'll rise to the surface. Stir in spinach, remove bay leaves. I don't even see where the bay leaves went. All right. See what else has happened. Other than that, guys, just trying to survive. My belly hurts a little bit from the pills again. It just started hurting. So, cramping up a bit. So it hurts. So I'm not going to eat that many kibbles. I will eat on it later. I'll let you know tomorrow. Or today is Sunday. I got Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I have therapy and walk around the hospital with my therapist and sit there and chit chat, yap a bit about everything going on. And then Thursday, I have to be in Gallipolis for my sleep uh, apnea doctor. This got me curious. So I will not be on Thursday morning, and then all right. Then James has got his range testing is for his target practice, all his shooting stuff for work Friday, I think. And I need to take some time and just relax. So I'm taking Thursday night off. So no game night with family and friends this week. It'll be next week. So hopefully I get a few things going on this week. Talk to my therapist, see what he's got to say. All right, time to add the dumplings. Don't look very dumplingy. I think that half regular flour made a big difference. I think that's all the dumpling mix we're going to put in there. Twenty minutes. And I think I'm going to take a break for a minute, guys. Sit down for a minute. My belly hurts. And them pills, the new pills they got me on. So I'm just going to take 5. Thanks for being here. Relax. I'm going to take my mic off. All right, I'm back. It's steaming, it's bubbling. My belly still hurts. All right, check the sound. Testing, testing, one, two, three. All right, I can hear me. That's good. Things are still working, other than my belly. Thought I hit start on that. I must have not have. All right. Breathe, Eldo. Breathe. The dumplings have risen. That's a good thing. Check my phone. Pardon me. Must have been the blueberries. I don't know. This is the pills. I was just sitting and relaxing a minute. When I was a kid, my stomach used to hurt. The creaking of a ship, the soup pot. Pretty quiet morning, all in all. Oh. Whew. There, it's starting to get a little bit better. I just had to let it go through my gut a little bit. Most unfortunate. 'Try some of the soup. I'll stick away from the sandwich today. There's too much food. I'll eat it later. Oh. $10 minutes to go, guys. 10 minutes. Uh, 'The creaking of the ship. That's what it reminds me of. spinach. What is this about spinach? 2 cups of fresh spinach leaves, coarsely chopped. So I suppose we can chop out the spinach leaves. We got 7 minutes. Sorry, I feel bad, guys. Spinach. We'll just do what we need. Our bowl. 4 minutes. We got that done in no time. We are still boiling away. 'Those look like some pretty mean looking dumplings. Should be cooked. find out. Whew! What a morning. Man, feeling rough. I was doing all right at the beginning and something hit my gut. My belly button even hurt. That makes me nervous. It's just one thing after another. I need to rest. I'm going to rest the next few days, guys. Wish me luck. Prayers are welcome. I need to turn off the brain. I got food for a couple days. I need to just chill out. I need to sleep. Sleep would be wonderful. Worrying about my peeps doing their thing. So just rest. Look like little hamburger, little meatballs in there is what it looks like. Now I can't have a whole lot of this right now. I got to see what it does with my blood sugar. We got a minute. Yes, I definitely need to rest, guys. Oh, all the prayers are welcome. I just thought of something too. A little bit of pepper, since I didn't have any peppercorns. All right. Get one of these dumplings. Hopefully it's done. Looks like it's done. Some chicken. Just what the doctor ordered. Doctor, doctor. All right. Ain't a little spinach. That's what it says. Put some spinach in it. We'll put this over here in this. All right. As we do every day or every Bachelor Cooking Sunday, we say a little prayer. Dear Lord, please give us the wisdom, understanding to live good lives and be healthy. For those of us that are sick, please look over us, heal us, and open doors. Amen. Amen. All right. Hi, guys. The dumpling done? Whole week, pretty heavy. Seems like it needs sugar. Everything needs sugar now. Eat a piece of chicken, I'll be done. Very bland. For a nice, calm soup, I guess diabetic soup, it's okay. I was hoping for more. Kind of simple veggie soup. So, guys, I gotta go. I gotta sit down. Guys, I love you. I wish you the very best. I hope you have a good week. Stay healthy, stay wise, and look after each other. Because without you, the other person might fall down beside you, and you might fall down without them. So look out for each other. Pass on the love. Peace. I'll see you guys Friday. See you guys. I